Heyo, you're tuning into Toasted Time, where I cook your time with some Reddit stories. Right now we've got Choosing Beggars, where someone invites someone to look after their bunny, kitty, and snails while paying them to do that honor. Our first story is by Snoo Crickets. Hello, I'm an unschooling mom of 2 and would like to offer up our hippie house for rent for as many days as you would like, up to 6 days at a time, 188 a night, to any families interested in learning indoor bunny care. We have 2 bunnies, Elliot and Rue. Elliot a Magpie Holland Lop and Rue a chocolate brown domestic bunny. And we've been a bun family for almost 3 years now and have learned so much about their care and truly enjoy having them as our pets and would love to share what it's like to have indoor bunnies with other families who may be interested in learning about them. With a stay in our home, we'll include a full write-up about their care and needs and day-to-day, and you'll get to hang out with them and learn about them, and most importantly, have fun. We also have some pet snails that we have watched grow from eggs that were laid on Christmas Eve that were also very fun to play with and learn about as well. And we do have a very antisocial kitty in one of the bedrooms who will stay under the bed and need a couple scoops of food and some water twice daily and to check up on the litter box, but she will otherwise most likely want to be left alone. Our home is located in Blank, about 20 minutes outside of Blank, in a very quiet suburb gated community. To share a bit about our neighborhood, our community connects to a golf course and there's a golf club across the street. There's also a walking, running, biking trail, a 5-minute walk Blank from our home, and many other trails, parks, and the splash pads and community pools are officially open for the kids nearby and all around the city. We are a walking distance of a Walgreens pharmacy and a shopping center, including a Smith's grocery store and many restaurant choices for dinner out. And if you go a little further, you'll reach an even bigger entertainment area with a Whole Foods, Cheesecake Factory, P.F. Chang's, Shake Shack, and more. And apparently there were a bunch of dislike comments that were said below that, to which the poster had then made a different note. Thank you for your kindness and your responses. I truly appreciate you for sharing your perspective. At the end of the day, I stand by what I initially said and what I have offered. If someone does not see the value in what I'm offering here, then it is not the right experience for them or their family. This is not a post of me seeking a pet sitter, and if it was, then I could understand the negative responses, but even so, I also have seen plenty of posts offering rentals and pet sits simultaneously in this group, but I digress. I could list my apartment on Airbnb for $240 a night. A night at Green Valley Ranch is showing up on my end at over $400. But maybe I'm missing something. As far as I'm concerned, this is a discounted rate and I'm not simply offering my house accommodations. I'm offering my energy and availability throughout the stay as well. My intentions in offering up my home was in the hopes that maybe a family in this group has a kid or kids who have been asking for a bunny and the family has no clue where to start with caring for them and would like to learn the process and have the assistance of a family with experience to help them along the way. Or maybe a family would just like to try it out just to see what it's like since they aren't common pets. As far as snails go, they take zero care and are frankly just fun to look at, as I stated, and the cat lives under the bed. But if scooping 2 scoops of food in a bowl once a day while you're here counts as pet care, then I stand corrected. I am not MGM, nor do I have a financial backing of a corporate company. We are taking accommodations including Wi-Fi, running AC, and power during the almost summer heat, and a home with a fully functioning kitchen, which would not be a part of a hotel stay in a resort-style area with restaurant, shopping, and casino access all in one. I also factored in the cost of professional cleaning in between families because I, for one, want to be in a clean home. Again, if the value in the experience isn't seen, this experience isn't for them. For any families detached from my chosen price for accommodations who are interested in what I am offering here, I'd be happy to chat more about it. I wouldn't be comfortable letting a novice care for my exotic pet free of charge who may not take the experience seriously for that reason alone, and I'm glad to know you could understand where I was coming from. And that is where that ends. Let us read the comments. Ah, yes, my lifelong dream has been to stay in a house with electricity and snails. Dream big, reach for the stars. I am dying over the fact that the Choosing Beggar lists electricity as an accommodation. This Choosing Beggar also forgot to mention the indoor plumbing and walls. No wonder they're getting dragged. If scooping 2 scoops of food in a bowl once a day while you're here counts as pet care, you mean literally feeding your cat every day? Kinda like what a pet sitter would do for a cat? Would the guest be fined when the cat has no water, or is checking water also not pet care? Man, I can't understand these people. I'm a pet sitter, and it is so common for people to treat cats like they don't exist. Yes, putting the food counts as pet care. It makes me sad that the cat lives under the bed. Man, what a great job that is. You are paying them to take care of their pets. Like, why didn't I think of this, you know? Moving on. And the next story comes from Fulfilled Phil. Looking for an in-home daycare, one that is clean for a 6-week-old baby. Reliable, I can afford $100 a week. Yeah, I'm getting all these tagged posts, but no answers. Okay, before we continue on to the rest of that post, I want to just draw your attention to for a 6-week-old baby. What is that grammar? Okay, continuing on. Now, I wish there was more context in the text messages down below that post, but you know, we're gonna go from where it goes, you know? Okay, not crybaby, is it? 'Cause my nephew will cry all night. Yeah, honey bun, if you can't deal with crying, you don't need to watch a baby. She's a newborn. I have kids and I don't mind crying, but crying for hours on end for no reason, I ain't gonna do. That's what I was referring to. Well, don't then. I'm not asking you to watch her, honey. You don't need babysit. I've babysat plenty of kids and still do, and you right, I ain't. Good luck finding someone willing to babysit a 6-week-old for over 8 hours a day for $20 a day. Alright, before we continue on to the comments down below the post, I want to ask, where do you think these two people originate? Because I am not going to move there with grammar that atrocious. Anyways, continuing on to the comments. Not a babysitter, a clean in-home daycare. Yikes. In-home daycares are common where I am. $100 a week isn't uncommon for kids. I think it's more in newborns, but I'm not sure. People must be freaking desperate where you live. $100 a day for childcare is a disgrace. You think people are going to tutor, monitor, feed, and engage with your child for $20 a day? My niece, who is 14, makes $25 an hour to babysit. You're in an alternative reality if you think $100 a week is normal. There are many children at these places. I don't know how much it usually is, but at least she isn't asking a person to watch only her child. The many children part is exactly the problem. Likely not enough restrooms, not enough space, probably feeding them garbage if at all, and almost certainly not doing anything but sitting on the porch and hoping the place doesn't burn down. I love when I see on the news that one of these overcrowded alternate daycares get shut down. Don't have kids if you can't care for them or afford to care for them. I know childcare is expensive, but expecting anything other than a crap hole and or potential abuse for $100 a week is delusional. Anywho, continuing on. Now, before we continue on, I just want to ask that if you are enjoying this so far, that you consider recommending this channel to friends and family, or just people you know, cause the help for this channel is greatly appreciated. So, to continue on, and now for the final story, which comes from Yellow Hair Tie. Hey y'all, I'm looking for a female house sitter to look after my cute rescue dog in Pakragana Heights. Please note that this is an unpaid house sit. I can offer free rent, a safe, warm, sunny house, fireplace, Netflix, and a snuggly, small floof who loves pets. My doggy is on meds, which involves just crushing her tablet once a day and putting it in her food, staying anonymous so people don't know where I live. Thanks. Bonus points if you're home a lot of the time. Thanks. And now, before we get to the comments, I picked two different conversations. The first one is... my original interpretation of reading this is that it was a man who wrote this. You know, a man just being creepy saying, I'm looking for females. But the second comment section that I decided to go over, it comes from the angle of it being a woman who is actually just sexist against men. But we'll get to that after the first post. Starting off from Blue is a Flavor. The cameras in the toilet and shower are for peace of mind. Don't forget about the camera over the bed. You can't see that camera behind the ceiling mirror though, I promise. And see, that was my original idea, that it was just a creepy man wanting a female. But going from a dude who is very downvoted, who goes by you social snowman, they say, see, here I thought the default assumption would be that it was written by an exist woman, to which then the debate between crunchy tea time and you social snowmen continues on. Women are allowed a mistrust of strangers who are male, and alone in their house and or with their children or pets. Anyone who reads headlines or ever pays attention to life knows this without being explained why. That doesn't mean she believes all men are born bad. It means she is being cautious and keeping a boundary she feels safe in. OP is allowed to hire who she wants to be alone in her house with her dog and her personal items and so forth. That is not exist. That is reality for women. Where is all this coming from? Everyone is allowed to be exist. Everyone always has reasons for their prejudices. At no point have I argued that this person's assumed exism is invalid. To which then Crunchy Tea Time quotes him saying, I thought the default assumption would be that it's written by an exist woman. You said that. You also said this next bit. I never said anything like this. Everyone is allowed to be exist. Everyone always has a reason for their prejudices. At no point have I argued that this person's assumed exism is invalid. That does not pertain to what I said. You're also reintroducing OP is an exist as a baseline agreed upon when my response is saying that in my belief, OP is not exist. That's a dishonest argument tactic. Replying as if things were said or agreed upon which never were, it isn't a good faith response in my opinion. And now here's where I ask you guys a question. So when I read that story, did you think it was a woman writing that, or was it a man writing that and being creepy? Because I originally took it as being a man being creepy, but then you social snowman brought in the aspect of it could just be a woman wanting a woman instead of a man. That could also just be true. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. Do you harbor on the creepiness, or do you harbor on the safety factor? I'm kind of leaning closer to being safety because the way that it was the post was written, it to me comes across as more feminine, if that makes sense. Anyways, well, that is about it for those stories today. But if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to become a fellow bread bag. But aside from that, I post 2 new videos every day, so I hope to see you next time toasting session. But until then, have a good one.